So 18, he probably didn't lose a game. We were joking that they won 97 straight. He probably won 50 straight.
Good for the young man.
Wilson also is a standout track athlete. Won the 19 state gold medal in the 100, 10.68. Personal best 22.54 in the 200, 5 feet in the high jump, 21.125 in the long jump. And anchored the 4x100.
I got to give him a little scolding on that 5-foot high jump. That's a little weenie.
What are you?
I mean, I think you.
5 foot's weak.
If you can leap, I would think that 6 feet seems like I'm not expecting him to go world record or anything.
Let me see what he
scale 8 feet, but.
Do we have a vert on him? Wow, this
is probably good.
I got to go to a different.
Maybe just bad technique.
Maybe just do it the old way.
Yeah, he did it the old-fashioned way. He didn't Fosbury.
Flop.
He wasn't flopping.
Yeah.
He went old school. He just jumped over the bar with his feet.
Yes.
Didn't even roll
into a sand pit like they used to. Didn't
even roll his body. Just jumped up in the air over it like a hurdle. Such an athlete is he.
All I know is every time they were like J.J. McCarthy stuff was everywhere, and like 90% of the highlights are Roman Wilson.
Is he number one?
Yeah, he's number one. Yeah, he's impressive.
Yes.
Let me see here. Now I got his.
Royals fans are really getting mad at you.
It's 40, 4.39, 40, 86 percentile. Jazzu J tried to tell us 4.39 is not fast. I'm like, no, it's fast.
Right. Before, you used to say 4.4 was fast.
His 10-yard 1.52 was 80th percentile. Where's his vert? Span, weight, height.
Oh, that's it. We want Roman Wilson.
I guess he didn't jump.
Trade up, Brett. Bring Roman Wilson here. We love him.
He too was apparently disappointed in that vertical. Because he didn't vert.
Oh, I guess maybe that's it. So, anyway, that's funny. That was worth doing.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll get into the Royals next here on the program.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Hey, Kansas City, Joe Spiker, Easton Roofing, back for another beautiful springtime in Kansas City. We are proud to announce our renewed partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City. Starting in 2024, a portion of every job sold will be donated to a cause close to my heart. I was a big, and I encourage you to volunteer. And if you hire us for service on your residential or commercial roof, you'll know that a portion of the profits will go to a great cause. So call us at 913-257-5426. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
You listen to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Danny Unleashed, brought to you by Easton Roofing.
Betcha.
EastonRoofing.com. Joe Spiker and the staff are the best. If it comes to your home, sure, they got you covered there. Also, when it comes to your business, don't forget, the best manufacturing companies, roofing manufacturing companies in the country, Carlisle, JM, Elevate, Gateco, they only supply the very best. Why? Because they offer up to 30-year warranties on flat roofs. Easton Roofing can do that because they're one of the best roofing companies, but everything's got to be installed right. They don't mess around with the fly-by-night companies, the ones that are just going to kind of throw it up there. They want the best. That's why they work with Easton Roofing when it comes to your business. No matter how tall the building is, no matter how big, how wide, how many square feet it is, Easton Roofing has got you covered. Find them online at eastonroofing.com. We started 4 times to talk about the Royals. They win
but
8.
Roman Wilson stepped in the way.
They win 8-0.
Yes.
Today. Are you ready to say what about this team?
I'm ready to say they're a resilient and improved bunch that I think has probably got themselves enough wiggle room now that they're good enough that I don't think they're going to play bad baseball for an extended period of time, which means that I think they're going to give us an interesting summer of baseball because they're now, 8 games over 500, and now, there's things that they cannot continue to do. They were ahead 1-0 in the 9th and scored a bunch of runs, so it made it 8-0. If they'd won 1-0, which it looked like maybe they were going to do, they would have improved their record to 9-6 in games that they've scored 3 runs or less. They're 8-6 now. They've scored 14 14 times, more than half their games have scored 3 runs or less. I tried to find the regular winning percentage for teams that are 3 runs or less. I haven't been able to find it. But it can't be more than 1 in 3, I don't think. Maybe 40%. For instance, the 2024 Houston Astros have scored 3 runs or less 13 times this season, and they are 1 in 12.
Well, the Royals have been pitching pretty good.
Oh, they've been pitching great, obviously.
The pedigree of the Royals pitching doesn't say that it should necessarily be better than the Astros.
But the Astros have had dreadful injuries that nobody cares about the Astros. But anyway, and also they've been bombed in a lot of those games, so that doesn't really matter. But the point being, 8 and 6, 3 runs or less, that's tremendous. And there's no way they can keep that up. But I don't think they're going to score 3 runs or less in more than half their games. If they do, then they will play bad baseball for a long stretch.
Listen, the longer they go against good teams winning ball games, taking 3 out of 4 from Toronto after a tough series with the O's.
And shutting them down totally.
Yeah, the more I'll start to buy in that winning the first one against the Tiger team, it's above 500. Now, we pointed out that the Guardians and Tigers, like the Royals, have benefited from a softer schedule. So, maybe the Tigers are going to be shown to be a fraud, and the Royals are going to validate that they're not a fraud.
Well, the Tigers haven't hit at all, so that what they've been doing is pretty amazing to have their record without much offense at all. I was just looking at some Royal stats, and to your point about...
They're 5 and 3. They set out on a night, just real quick, they set out on a 19-game stretch against teams above 500. And we pointed out that other than 6 games, they played all teams below 500.
Right.
And that this was going to largely determine... we were going to know what the hell they are. Well, they're 5 and 3 so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's anything so far that could discourage you except the length of the lineup, which looks like it's playing out to be the extra guys stink so far. That's just it. To his credit, I was going to bring this up. I just brought up their hitting stats, and then I clicked on OPS. The 6 players who are qualified for the batting title for the Royals are the 6 players who have the best OPS on the team. So they basically are batting the best. The other guys are saying, no, not you today. Or let's mix and match these bozos. And, Perez, Witt, Pasquantino, Melendez, Velasquez, and Garcia, you're going to play every day. And they've generally produced. And the other guys have generally been bad. So... that's 6 is enough, though. It's not like before when it'd be 3 guys who were hitting pretty well. So I'm impressed.
If Michael Garcia is going to hit, yes.
Now that being said,
you can make a go of it. You're going to have to pitch, but you can make a go of it. But
that's 6. That's 6 who are the top 6 for them. The Royals only have 3 players with an OPS over 700.
Right.
The pitching can't continue that.
The pitching is going to have to stay healthy. They're going to have to stay healthy across the board because there's no depth.
Right.
Down in the system.
There's no depth on the 26-man roster is what we're pointing out, kind of.
Yes, agreed. And there's nothing coming.
No.
Drew Waters will come up and be Drew Waters. Kind of like Kyle Isbell's being Kyle Isbell. Right. Yeah, this was kind of my last gasp hope that Kyle Isbell was going to turn the corner and start looking like his minor league numbers, but it's starting to look like his minor league numbers were a product of being a little bit old at each level.
Right.
Well, you don't get to be old at the big league level. No. And so, Drew Waters' numbers are good. Right? They're good. But he's 26. They're supposed to be good at AAA.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll come up and carry those numbers forward. We'll see.
You would think that
I'm not trying
given his track record,
to
I would think that you'd think that Hunter Renfroe will start to hit better. Now, maybe he just has had it. I don't know.
I think he'll hit better. I don't think he's going to be old Hunter Renfroe. I think he's going to be... Actually, let me take that back. I think he's going to be old Hunter Renfroe. Not the good
not
Hunter
the good
Renfroe.
But is he going to trot out a 5-something OPS? I don't think so.
I hope not.
That doesn't... Because I think they're probably... Well, he might if they give up on him. If they just finally say that's... But I think he should still... He's got enough of a track record. They should keep playing him for another 2-3 weeks, I would think.
Two things that I think are of note that have really been proven. One, I expected. One, I didn't. One, Matt Couture knows what the hell he's doing. I expected that. there was no judging him last year whatsoever, but he's certainly an intelligent guy, and I don't think he got hired because we think he knows what he's doing. I think he understands the data. He knows how to apply it. He knows how when it reaches its limit and when you got to manage people. I like Matt Quatraro a lot as a manager right now. Okay? And I kind of expected that was going to be the case. I think J.J. Picoult's been around long enough. Like, he might need to be fired one day, but it'll be because he's run its course, not because he's not qualified to do the job. So that I expect. You know what I didn't expect? MJ Melendez playing left field like Alex Gordon.
Well, it's a good thing he is because he ain't hitting.
He was, and I think will.
Right. But he made a fabulous running catch in the gap the other day. I mean, he's a good athlete.
I found your number. Last 20 years, 3 runs or fewer for American League teams, 203 win percentage.
Whoa.
No American League, no team in the DH League in the last 20 years has won better than 38% of their games.
So
3 runs or fewer.
Pick it up. Pick up the offense. I knew it had. I thought it was 333, and I was guessing high.
Yes.
So guessing very high. So, yes, that's not replicable, but you know what? Those wins are in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to give them back.
If they had won 20% of their games so far that they'd scored 3 runs or less, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
But it does mean that they're probably going to win about 10% of them through through another 20 of them.
So don't do that until only 20 of those for the rest of the season.
The rest of the season.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good plan.
We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new. This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Joe Spiker and his team are the best in the business for all your roofing needs, handled with honesty and craftsmanship. Visit them at eastonroofing.com.